Okay, looks like the mic's working now. Okay. Good afternoon. It is Friday. And we are streaming. It is The Return of the King. Now, you might think that's a pretty egoistic title, but I'm not talking about me. Okay? The king is not me. The king is the GOAT, the one and only, the undefeatable Sand Scout. Sand Scout has returned. After a long exile through the summer and autumn via the dominance of Blue Black Reanimator. So the banning of Entomb has freed Sand Scout. And this is my first opportunity to stream, really, since the ban. I've had to work last weekend and this weekend, so I haven't been able to stream and get my thoughts out there. I do have some thoughts. I'll come back to Sand Scout. But I have been able to sneak in some leagues in the evenings. And yeah, turns out I was able to stream this afternoon. So don't know when I'll be able to stream again, but we are here. And I'm not quite ready to write sort of long form content about this list because everything is still very much up in the air, right? The stuff I'm encountering in leagues is quite experimental. The lists are changing. I'm not sure about my sideboarding against a lot of decks. I'm pretty confident in the cards I want in the sideboard, but I'm not necessarily sure what to bring in, what to bring out in various matchups. So I'm still getting comfortable with all that, and hopefully we'll see some of that in the league that we do today. But I do just want to spend a little bit of time, especially for people watching on YouTube, who may be Mardu Energy enthusiasts and may have seen me popping around various Discord channels talking about red-white. Just spend a little bit of time talking through why that is before we get into the league. So I like the Mardu deck. I played the Mardu deck for several weeks. Took it to paper tournaments, did well. Was very happy with it in general. I think it's a powerful deck. I would not fault anyone for playing Mardu. It has some serious mana issues, which you can mitigate by play decisions and mulling decisions and things like that. I think that Mardu probably has a better or more even matchup spread overall because of the discard. But I don't like how inconsistent the mana is. And I think the discard and stuff like that hurts your matchup, especially your game one matchup with tempo decks, like blue-black or especially blue-red. And blue-red right now is top dog. So a good opportunity for Boros to come in. So one of the main draws to Boros is just getting to play these bad boys. Okay, basic mountain, and you can play, I think, up to 2 basic planes, which is really powerful to have 3 basics against tempo decks, because that means that you can play all of your 2 drops around days without getting wastelanded. Easy peasy. I also think that the Mardu list is really fun because your card quality is much lower, and you're playing a lot of cards that people don't see, or at least I am. And that's a lot of fun, is just to trash people with card interactions and synergies rather than just with Orcish Bowmasters, which is also fine. So I'm going to go through some of that now, just to explain some of the slightly odd card choices, the ones that look very odd in the list. And then I'll talk about how you're sort of mitigating the fact that you don't have discard and stuff like that. So I think now is a good time to talk about Sand Scout. Sand Scout is not a card that was seeing play in Legacy before. I found it in a Scryfall search. It's a commander card, too powerful for Modern. When it enters, if your opponent controls more lands than you, you get a desert. Comes into play, tapped. Come back to that. And then the second line of text, I think, is actually the better line of text, possibly. Whenever 1 or more land cards put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 1/1 red, green, and white Sand Warrior creature token. And this triggers once a turn. So why is this good? I was struggling to find a 2-drop that didn't die to Bowmaster. or was resilient to Bowmaster. This has 2 toughness. In fact, it really has 3 toughness because you almost never play this without getting a 1/1, right? You play it, you play a fetch land, you play a wasteland, you crack it, you get a 1/1. And if it stays in play, you do the same thing next turn. If you've got multiple ways to do that, you can do it twice in a turn cycle, right? You can do it on your turn and on their turn. And if you've got multiple Sand Scouts in play, forget about it. You're making a bunch of 1/1s, okay? Now, the 1/1s are good because they're contributing to Pride, because Pride copies them, because they're sackable to Goblin Bombardment, etc. But the 1/1s are also red. Okay, so this is a white card that makes red permanents, just like Voice of Victory, which is obviously huge for Ajani. So Sand Scout is just synergizing with the whole list. It's doing exactly what the list wants to do. It's going wide. It's making guys. It's getting red permanents. It also occasionally, or more than occasionally, if you kind of sandbag lands or whatever, which you might want to do in some matchups, or especially when you're on the draw, it will often on turn 3 get you a Lazotep Quarry. Lazotep Quarry is also actually quite powerful. It's the only good desert I've managed to find, but it is a pretty good desert in this list specifically. The first line of text, sacrifice creature, add 1 mana of any color. It looks very innocuous, but of course this is another way to flip Ajani. So you can just play Ajani on turn 3, play a Quarry, and then flip him, or hold up the flip, if depending on the board state. Pretty cool. In a pinch, fix your mana. That's fine. Also, against Baragoyf, it's very relevant to, for example, block with a cat token and then sack it to Quarry and they don't gain any life. Your Reanimator opponent reanimates Traxxas, goes to 10 life or 5 life or whatever. You have a big board state. They're relying on lifelink to block. Swing out. Quarry the creature that gets blocked. They're dead. Very good against all of the lifelinking creatures in the format right now. The second ability, sacrifice a desert, exile target creature card with mana value X from your graveyard. And eternalize it, make a 4/4 black zombie copy. This means that your land slots are also spell slots. And in fact, if you're getting the land for free off Sand Scout, that's even more insane in terms of your ability to sustain pressure against decks that are trying to answer you. It makes a token copy. What that means is if you have the City's Blessing and you have an Ocelot Pride in play and you have gained life that turn, the Ocelot Pride will copy the token at the end of turn, even if it is itself the token, right? So you can actually chump attack with an Ocelot Pride, post-combat, play out the Quarry, sack it. It costs 3 if you're exiling. Right, it costs like 4 mana in total, right? Quarry plus 3 if you're exiling a 1 mana creature. You get a 4/4 first striker, and then at the end of the turn, it makes a cat and copies itself and makes a cat. So you get 10 power out of that. And in other situations, it's just great to buy back a Guide of Souls, which often swings in next turn as a 6/6 flyer. Kitten I will come to, but also pretty good as a 4/4 haste. These guys are less good to copy, but copying a Sand Scout and getting a bunch more tokens can be relevant. Don't copy your Ajani if you're expecting to flip it, because it's a token. Okay, so that won't work. And don't copy Raptor expecting to get ETB, because that's only if you cast it. So Quarry Scout is good. I really like playing lots of lands so that I can buy and play Gigantha and whatever, but also having lands that do stuff like Quarry, Caracas, and this Sekenzan, which is probably the worst land in the list, but I do like having a 24th land, and I haven't yet come across a land that I would want to play as a 24th land that's better. Like, I think Eiganjo is worse than making 2 colorless spirits in this deck, because you have bombardment and stuff like that. Incidentally, when you channel the land, you should get Sand Scout trigger, because it's from anywhere. And then the last, I guess, card that I'm playing that nobody else is playing is this Skittering Kitten, or Masked Meower in paper. Again, I came across this card in a Scryfall search that apparently is being played in Pauper. This looks very weak, and it is pretty weak by itself, but does a number of things that you want. It's proactive, right? One of the big problems in this deck is having reactive cards that you hit off Raptor. And for example, I had like Bolt in here before, and having 8 swords having 4 swords and 4 bolts and being very likely to hit those off Raptor is not great on a lot of board states. And swords is much more powerful, so it's fine. But this, you're happy to hit off Raptor. It clocks your opponent, right? Just starts dealing damage from turn 1, that's fine, or whenever you play it. But the big thing is it is both a cat and a red permanent. So it has double synergy with Ajani. It does either of the things. It's not quite as good as Goblin Bombardment, because Goblin Bombardment does both of the things, but it does either of the things because you can sacrifice it with an Ajani in play at any point, instant speed, and it will flip the Ajani. That can be pretty good. You can block a Baragoi, sacrifice it, they don't gain a life. And also, if you have other ways to flip Ajani, it's another red permanent. It's more redundancy for the Ajani Blast, which I think is super, super important. So I really like Kitten. I could see playing like 3 copies instead, but I honestly haven't found anything better for the slot yet. So it looks pretty weak. It's pretty bad when you draw too many of them, but it's totally synergistic playable card in this deck, I think. You can even like discard a land when you're flooded to the Kitten, and if you discard a land from your hand, you'll get a Sand Scout trigger. Perfect. Okay, sideboard. Now, I'm pretty happy with the sideboard. I like Abrade for Cutter, especially, but it's also been really good against Eldrazi and stuff like that. It means that you have 4 answers to Chalice, but also 2 extra removal spells to bring in. Prismatic Ending I don't think is playable unless you have a 3rd color, and Quarry doesn't quite count. Otherwise, I would quite like Prismatic Ending in that slot. But Abrade I think does a fine impression. Pyroblast, I am thinking about maybe cutting the Vacuum. I'll come back to the Vacuum in a second. Cutting the Vacuum for a 3rd Pyroblast just because of the number of Show and Tell and Omnitel decks that are turning up these days. So Pyroblast is strong. 4th Aelingus and Price of Progress are really good against Post. Price of Progress, I'm not 100% sure about this card yet, but I think it is good, and it has won me a few games against Post that other cards wouldn't have won. 4th Aelingus has been insane in this metagame. I wasn't sure about it before the ban, but with all of the like 5-color stuff coming out of the woodwork, all of the Post, lands, depths, 4th Aelingus has just been insane. You can just play this on turn 3, get the Monarchy, and a lot of decks, they're done. Right, they were ready to play a reactive game against you. They were ready to like Wrath of the Skies, buy back Wrath of the Skies over and over again and try and control you. But they're not ready to take the initiative, or take the Monarchy, I should say, against you. So 4th Aelingus is super good in the sideboard. Honestly, at the point where I may even want to main deck a couple of copies. Probably not quite, but it's also fine to hit off Raptor because as long as you have a creature in play that can attack, you're still going to get the Monarchy. Now, the elephant in the room here is that Reanimator is still a thing, right? We have both fast Dark Ritual-based Reanimator with Colossal Grave Reaver, and we have blue-black with like Tainted Indulgence and stuff like that. And we have Oops. And I am only playing 1 piece of Graveyard Hate in the entire 75. And at that point, you probably could just play 0 pieces of Graveyard Hate. Why am I not playing enough Graveyard Hate? Why am I not playing like 3, 4, 5 pieces of Graveyard Hate in my sideboard? All of the options suck in red-white. I really liked Nile Spellbomb in Mardu. I don't like Fairy at all. Leyline I think is okay if you want to beat specifically Oops, but the other decks, like in fact all of them really, Oops, Reanimator, and Reanimator, all have pivot plans that don't use the graveyard, and so the Graveyard Hate is not that good. Ghost Vacuum, if anything, is like a tech card for like grindy mid-range matchups, because you can eventually get to 6 mana and it's very good. But honestly, I'd probably rather have a Blast there as well, just to kill Tamios and stuff. So I'm thinking about making this swap. All of the options suck. If you were going to play Graveyard Hate, you'd have to play something like Cage or Soul Guide Lantern or Surgical. And all of those cards are just super reactive. And once you're playing against, like, I don't know, Reanimator or something, you're bringing in all of these Graveyard Hate cards, but you know that they also have, you know, Witherbloom combo or Show and Tell. So then you've also got to keep in all your removal, and you've also got to bring in your Pyroblast for Show and Tell. And at that point, what are you playing? You're cutting all of your like synergies and your linear aggressive plan. You're playing like Boros Control, and Boros Control sucks. The pressure is good in those matchups because Reanimate costs you life. You know, when I beat blue-black, I beat them by pressuring them. So I think the answer to these graveyard decks is not to play lots of Graveyard Hate for me. It's to go fast. Right? Just go fast. And that's why I like stuff like Price of Progress. I've been trying Price of Progress in the blue-black matchups. Been totally fine. Like 6 damage burn spell when they've got 4 lands in play. One of them's basic. Whatever, right? That's good. Because they're going down pretty low to get their Archon into play or whatever. So I've been trying that. Against Oops, I actually like Deafening Silence, I think, more than Graveyard Hate because it also beats Belcher. And you just have to cross your fingers on the draw. That's fine. I'm not here to beat Oops, to be honest. That deck is inconsistent enough that I don't mind. So yeah, I would not fault you for wanting to put a bunch of Graveyard Hate in the sideboard because Graveyard decks are good. But me personally, I am happy to just go fast and to essentially punish them for pivoting off the Graveyard plan, right? A lot of them will be bringing in Witherbloom Apprentice. They'll be bringing in Belcher. They'll be bringing in whatever, right? Depending on the matchup. To sidestep the Graveyard Hate they think is coming out of the board. If the Graveyard Hate isn't coming out of the board, then they're just slowing themselves down, and your linear plan is still strong, right? Because you're not diluting it after board. That only works if they don't know that you don't have any Graveyard Hate. So it only works as long as the sideboard isn't stock, but we're a long way from having any kind of stock sideboard for energy. So I have no issue with that. In fact, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to cut this Ghost Vacuum, which is only fine, and I'm going to add a blast to my sideboard and try this today. And I think it will map slightly better for a lot of matchups. So yeah, I'm going to go with 0 Graveyard Hate. Okay, I'm gonna do it because 1 and 0 are basically the same, and it's just not the plan. I don't like it. I don't like drawing like multiple pieces of Graveyard Hate while my opponent is Tamiyoing me or Witherbloom Apprenticing me or whatever. I want to draw my good cards that kill my opponent, so I'm gonna keep those. Okay, I think I've been talking for well enough time, about 20 minutes, about this deck. I think it's best to just sort of show you how it works, and hopefully it does. I have not yet managed to trophy with this deck. That was always my experience with Energy anyway, is you'd always run into, once a league, you'd run into some kind of Doomsday or whatever that you just can't really beat. I've got a lot of 4-1s, so I'm very happy with the deck. And if you think about top 8ing a tournament, you don't need to go undefeated to top 8 a tournament. You need to go X1. And this deck is very good at doing that because it's very good against anything that it isn't bad against. If that makes sense. I think I've spoken enough about Jegantha on other occasions that it's kind of obvious why I'm including it. This is an interesting hand. Doesn't have any white mana, obviously. This is where you want the Sekenzan to be something else, obviously. Like, drawing Mountain and Sekenzan is a big problem. That's why I kind of don't like having both. So Sekenzan probably should be cut. Because otherwise, like, if there's white mana in this hand, it's great. Without it, I'm going Kitten into Raptor and hoping to draw white mana, or eventually sacking Kitten to Quarry, maybe, to play something. Honestly, on the play, I think I'm going to keep it anyway. I think Guide Pride is pretty good even later in the game, and I honestly don't mind Kitten into Raptor as a start. It's perfectly reasonable. Is that insane? It might be insane. I'm going to try it. Let's see how this goes. I just think a lot of 6s look worse than this, because a lot of 6s have what you have. They might have white mana, but they might not have a fast start. And like turn 2 Raptor on the play is just so good. So as long as you don't hit swords, it's really good. Oh, sorry. Looks like it's probably breakfast. That's what Archive First means to me often. I mean, it could be 5 color or something, but Basic Plains Archive, yeah, probably breakfast. That's a good card against breakfast if I can cast it. I think I'll go pre-combat in case I hit another Kitten. That's fine. It's just a bunch of power. So one thing I can do here is like sack Kitten to make white mana, and then in a couple of turns bring it back as a 4/4. It's totally fine. This isn't the best start in the world. Would have been nice to like hit an Ajani or something off Raptor, or even a Voice. But if I draw white mana, I'm in a good spot. If I don't, we'll see. Oh, okay, you are a blue control deck. You have a Katara Waterbending Master. I think this card is terrible. But maybe we'll be eating our words here. white mana? No. Okay. Getting punished. That's okay. That's okay. I knew I could. Just wondering if I even just want to sack this. I have so many white cards in my hand now that maybe it's better to draw to find the white mana. But I do kind of need to kill this. I'm going to put my faith in the heart of the cards. And I'm going to... Maybe I should have done this on their turn. I want to attack, though. It's like, yeah, you force this, you get an experience counter. No, okay. I'm going to play out the land, because if I draw a fourth land that isn't white, I'll want to get a 4/4 kitten. And try and limp my way to victory. How many white sources do I have in this deck? I have 8 fetches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white sources that are fetchable. It's 14, and then 2 Caracases is 16 white sources. Okay, so I'm not that likely to draw white. Maybe I should have mulled. Yep, that's pretty bad. Okay. Note to self: don't keep hands without white mana. It was an experiment. We were doing science. It's during combat. I can't even sack it for white mana. Okay. Maybe they'll think. Oh no, we did play swords. I was gonna say maybe they think we're on mono red energy. Hello, Romario. How's it going? I mean, if I draw white mana on turn 2 or turn 3, this hand is very good. So I think on the draw I would mull to 6 because it's like less punishing to mull to 6. On the play, I really like keeping 7. And I did have like a linear start. I don't know. My odds of drawing white across 2 turns are more like, I guess they're over 50%. So yeah, I think I like it. If I draw 2 more lands, you can make white mana. Yeah, exactly. Got a swords. Play swords. This is like proper Jeskai. Jeskai terrible cards. Okay, I think I'm done here. Okay, so I like 4th in these kind of matchups. Don't like price. I do like Pyro. We may want Wear Tear, probably not. Depends if they have like back to basics and stuff, although we're not too bad against back to basics. In these kind of controlling matchups, I don't really like Static Prison because it's pretty weak to Wrath of the Skies. And then Goblin Bombardment can be good, but Swords and Kitten can be weak. And the mapping is so awkward in terms of like odd numbers and stuff. I think because of the mapping, I have to take out 1 Bombardment because it's the only thing I really want to shave if I wanted to shave it. I actually quite like it against control decks, but 1 copy is probably fine. It's not super necessary. And it's a question of whether I want Kitten or Swords. And I think I want Swords because they're on that Katara card as well as Tamiyo. Yeah. And then this means that we don't have too many red pips as well because we're bringing in Pyroblasts. Let's try that. I really like playing against these control decks because I find that the Boros version grinds very well. Obviously, in Mardu, you have Discard, which is good against control, especially Therapy, but you're kind of reliant on drawing those cards, whereas the Boros deck has a very consistent grind plan because there's so many different things that you can grind your opponent out with. Right, you can grind them out with Raptor, you can grind them out with Gigantha, you can grind them out with Sand Scout, you can grind them out with Quarry, you can grind them out with the Ajani. You just have a lot of different cards that enable you to play a long game if you need to, especially if you slow roll them and stuff like that. So it's not like the matchup is overwhelmingly good. I think the control matchup is probably worse than the tempo matchup, for example, because they do have sweepers and stuff. But I think it's totally fine. And I would venture to say positive. It's certainly better than you would expect for like aggro versus control. You should play Grindstone. Why would I play Grindstone when I can just redirect lightning my opponent's Grindstone? Have you thought about that? One thing that I tend to do in this deck, especially sort of grindier matchups, is I tend to sandbag the fetch lands because they're much better when you play them with Sound Scout. Like I obviously wouldn't do that if I were against like Blood Moon or something, but maybe they have Magus and they should get planes at some point. But so we could just jam Raptor here. I don't like that too much because I have 4 swords and 2 Pyroblasts in my deck. And I don't need to be super aggressive. I need to be aggressive but not super aggressive. I think I'm happy to hold up Blast and play Guide. And then any future creatures are better when we play the Guides first. Although I'm probably supposed to swing first. So that maybe if they have swords, they don't kill it. Because they want to kill what I play. Probably supposed to swing first. That's fine. They still took the damage. So go. Grindstone for the grindy matchups. Isn't like, what's that 5-mana green enchantment that makes fractal tokens every turn? Isn't that the best grind card? I swear like Depths was playing it for a while. It makes like a fractal token every turn or something. Again, I'm just not going to play the Raptor because there's nothing to remove on my opponent's board. I'll play Pride. Get 2 energy. Be able to jump one of these guides without any interaction. I'm going to hide the Wasteland so that maybe they fetch a duel. Because I would Wasteland them this turn. And I'm not worried about days on the Pyroblast. Ooh. Do I Pyro that? It's very tempting to Pyro that. I think I will. I think we're establishing enough pressure here that a Pyro on a Brainstorm is actually kind of a big problem for them. I would usually save a Pyro for like Force because it's a 2-for-1, or for Tamiyo because it's one of the only answers to flip Tamiyo. But I think it. Oh, you have a Hydro? Okay, so there's a bit of a punish for using the Pyro there. But they are tapped out now, and they had to fetch before the Brainstorm resolves, so that's actually pretty good for us. I don't necessarily mind that exchange. I don't usually like using Pyro on cantrips, but I think that was high enough leverage. I don't want to be holding it up forever. I think we're wasting the Tundra here. Keeping them off double white is quite good. And we're jumping. Specifically for Wrath of the Skies, the double white is a consideration. Ponder, that's great news for us. That means they need something. Shuffle, even better news. How are you going to play your Jeskai 3-drops deck without a 3rd land, huh? Okay, they're done. I don't think I want Price. It looked like in the first game they had a fair number of basics. I like Price against... I would bring in Price against like anything with Leyline Binding, right? Any 4 or 5 color pile, I would bring in Price. It can be quite good at slamming the door on them. Here, I think I still prefer the 2 kittens. It's kind of... like, even just for curve, if nothing else. I don't know. Good. They were fetching non-basics there. Could deal them quite a lot of damage. Like, if you deal 4 with this, it's probably more impactful than a kitten. But then kitten flips a Johnny and stuff, which is good. So, yeah, I think I'll go this way. I think that we have enough grind, especially when you're not against Beanstalk, particularly because Beanstalk does actually grind very well. If you're not against specifically Beanstalk, you can actually hope to outlast these decks. You can actually outgrind them, depending on the circumstances. This hand, I think I'm going to keep it. It's a little risky if I get stuck on 1. But I have Sand Scout, so if I get to 2, I get to 3. Once I get to 3, I'm cooking. And I have the combo. I have Caracas, good against Tamiyo. Yeah, okay. It's a little risky. If I don't draw a second land here, I'm pretty cooked, but... yeah, that's bad. I think this is better than playing a creature. Because if I draw double white, then I can play both anyway, and that's almost as good as playing one after the other. Quarry Steel Cutter. Oh, okay, you're doing that. Oof, that's a good draw. Do I want to lead on voice, or do I want to go Pride Guide? If you have a force, you can just force the voice. I think I like Pride Guide more here, specifically. I would often play voice there. I can't quite put my finger on why I want to go Pride Guide. I think it's because them untapping and removing the voice and then playing a cantrip is particularly impactful with the Steel Cutter in play, whereas here there are 3 creatures they need to remove rather than just 1. I would often play voice there so that I could play turn 3 like guide and then attack with voice, which is very impactful. But I just think it's so likely that they have a removal spell to go with their opener that playing voice there seems like kind of time walking myself almost. One thing that's quite nice against these reactive decks is playing voice when they have open mana, because it forces them to use their removal or lose tempo. Okay, heat on the guide, that's fine. And they can't really attack here because of the pride. If they attack, I just swing past them and keep making cats. Yeah. Did not play a land, which is kind of annoying, because I want to Sand Scout. But that's fine. I may even sandbag this Marsh Flats. Probably not, though, because I think I'm going to want to Pyro a force on the voice, and I think they may well force the voice. The other thing I could do is play Sand Scout and make a guy, but it's not super good here, and I can always hold the fetch. So I'm going to try this. Because if they force here, it's an easy win. Yep. Because you just get to 2 for 1 them. If they have second force, they'll make another guy, but there'll be a 1 card in hand. So I think that's totally fine. We might get owned by Back to Basics here, but I don't think so. I don't think you'd play Back to Basics in your Cutter deck, would you? I guess we'll find out. Oh no, you get to pick the next deck. Is it Boros Energy, Francis? I should get rid of those channel things. I don't understand the point of channel points. I don't know how to make channel points relevant. Does anybody know how to make channel points relevant? I don't want you to pick my deck. I don't have a rental account anymore, so I definitely don't want you to pick my deck. I should change that stuff. Oh, you just didn't trigger your cutter? That's awful. That's terrible. Holy cow. So you don't get to play anything anymore because I have a Voice of Victory in play. I still can't remove this monk, which is annoying. Doomsday? Good God. Good God. Kind of want to play second voice. I don't know. What happens if you just go like land Wrath of the Skies for 2? You kill your cutter. I think I'm going to attack with voice because I get to deal 2 damage. And I think I'm going to play another voice. And if they have Wrath of the Skies, I think that's fine. We rebuild with Sand Scout. I'm also going to sandbag the land so that if they play a 4th land, I can get Quarry off Sand Scout. And especially if the Pride dies, that could be pretty impactful. So we're going to go It's a question of whether to hold up Karakas or Blast. Because of Tamiyo. Could also just play the land. What am I more afraid of? Tamiyo is not that scary here. I think I'm more afraid of something like Narset. Or Teferi, actually. I would blast a Teferi here. I'll play the Voice. If you have Wrath, I think that's fine. I think you lose... You lose a lot of, like, tempo. And I still have... I have Scout to rebuild. Scout's just like a one-man army. Like, literally a one-man army. I guess she's a woman. She's a one-woman army. I think I'm going to let that Brainstorm resolve. It's also better to Pyroblast on my turn. Like, if they play a blue permanent, Pyroblast on my turn, they can't counter it. This is why I like the Cutter matchup a lot, you know, blue-red or Jeskai. Just because often they just can't attack. So the Cutter's not really doing anything. Like, eventually it will do something. Okay, now you have a Narset. Do I want to blast that? I think I do. I think I'm willing to blast on their turn just to stop them from getting the card. I mean, I could also just kill it, right? No, I don't want them to have the selection, because they're obviously going to be looking for, like, a board wipe here. Although, do you play Wrath of the Skies in your Kori Steelcutter deck? I don't know. What do you play? Must play something. Maybe they're playing like Fire Magic or Electricity or something. Anyway, I get to... Ooh. We'll hold that for now. We're gonna use the... We're gonna play the King. The goated Sand Scout. Because this Quarry is insane here, right? The Quarry gives me a way to flip a Johnny. It gives me a way to buy back Pride if they kill it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. City's Blessing. Just wondering if I even want to cut them off red. I think I will. I'm just, at this point, I'm mostly playing, like, mostly thinking about them getting a board wipe, because if they don't get a board wipe, they're just super dead. I could attack here. Yeah, I get to trade a Voice for a Monk. They could eat a cat. I'm gonna do... this is like hedging my bets a bit against a board wipe. I think it's totally fine. This is just a lot of damage, like, that I would otherwise miss out on, so... It's totally fine to trade a Monk for a Voice, or... Oh, they just... What? You had a free block. What's going on? Opponent's just given up? Okay, fine. When your opponent gives up, it's easy. Beat them into submission. It's all about winning the mental game. Okay, there's your Narset. Nice 3-mana Planeswalker deck, man. Really, really tempo positive. Nice 3-mana Planeswalker deck in your Kori Steelcutter deck as well. Not sure about those. Not sure about that synergy, to be honest. I shouldn't talk trash, but I love it. There you go. There's the Wrath of the Skies. Bit late now, though, isn't it? Because I think you're just dead. I think you are just dead. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, dead even before I attack, basically. Just uber, super duper mega dead. Oh, I actually did this wrong. I wasted a mana. That's fine. I could do it after combat. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's like slightly less damage, I think, but it doesn't matter. What is this, 8? Yeah. Okay, Wanna against Jeskai. We lost game 1 because we kept hand without white mana, that's right. So, We gave our opponent a chance. Yeah, I think anything like blue red specifically is fairly even because they can clock you very quickly in a way that it can be hard to bring all your card advantage to bear. Beans on the other end, they can outgrind you. But anything between those two, right? Any blue black, any Jeskai, whatever, you're just gonna eat them alive. You're just gonna eat them alive with Sand Scout and Quarry and Raptor and Rajani. Like genuinely, as a Jeskai opponent, there, the cards that you need are the cards that will cheese me, right? You need like a Magus of the Moon, or you need a Back to Basics, or something. Wrath of the Skies is not enough. Okay, reveal Gigantha. Another risky looking hand, but this time I'm gonna be more sensible. Keep this bottom of voice. The Sekenzan is taunting me. It's turning up in all the wrong spots today. I think I have to cut Sekenzan. Probably just play a fetch and just be happy with the fact that I have 2 Quarries as spell lands. I think that's gonna have to be the change. It's just cut Sekenzan, bid Sekenzan a fond farewell, and play another fetch. Because I have quite a lot of fetchables at this point. I added extra plateaus because I didn't like the cycle lands. I was losing too much life on the cycle lands, like Sunbait Canyon. Oh, good. This is a different matchup. That card is very scary. It's not very good against Goblin Bombardment, though. I'm wondering if I should actually not get a red source here. I should probably just get a Plains. Yeah. In fact, I shouldn't have fetched at all. I should have waited. Okay, that's good. That's good news. I think I'm willing to get basic mounted or basic Plains here. What are you gonna do? Okay, actually, just thinking about Wasteland, I only have 1 red card right now. I could easily draw a 1 white spell. I think basic Plains is actually the call here. That's why I like having 2 basic Plains, which Mardu does not have. I'll stop talking about Mardu. But you're gonna Crop Rot. It's not very good here. You get what? Urza Saga? What's my alarm? Crop Rot for Lush Portico. That is not super exciting, is it? Although you did keep the top card. I'm hoping to just clown them with Bombardment here, depending on what they do. Yeah, so this is a what? Reclaimer? Yeah. So Reclaimer is a 3/4 because they have Safekeeper. You can just keep drawing basics. I might want to save that one for Sand Scout. No, it's fine, I think. Like, discarding Sekenzan is also very good with Sand Scout and Bombardment. I think because of Bombardment, I should keep the Sekenzan. We can get Basic Mountain now. I kind of wish I'd got Plateau so that I could have my cake and eat it here, but this is fine. I didn't want to get set back on lands in this game. Even though it would have helped my Sand Scout, maybe. Ooh. Okay, Spit Bombardment. It's actually tricky. Now I'm thinking about it, it's tricky to attack here, isn't it? Because they get to block with Reclaimer. I think that's fine because I think they're going to have to lose all of their lands if they want to do that, basically. I will let them go to blocks. Oh, okay, fine. Got your Safekeeper. They just don't want to continue. Man, they lost a lot of cards in that game, right? Mox Diamond into crop rotation for no value. Like, they lost a lot of cards. Okay, green-white depths. A Braid is a little awkward here because it doesn't kill a Reclaimer most of the time, but they have enough artifacts that I think it's fine as an extra piece of removal. And they might have Saga. Although they probably don't, right? Because you would have crop rotated for Saga, probably. Yeah, you would have crop rotated for Saga in that game. So you probably don't have it. Maybe you have it in the board, though. I think I like 4th Aerlingus in this matchup. And I think Voice is the cut. Just because it doesn't attack very well into their blockers a lot of the time. And then everything else seems fine. I don't think this is a pop matchup. Kitten is fine. It flips Ajani. Flipping Ajani seems extremely good in this matchup. So let's try this. Yeah, this looks fine. It's very linear. Has a wasteland. Probably loses to Safekeeper and a big creature, but that's fine. Yeah, that's good. You're not going to wasteland me this turn. So, I'll plateau. I guess you could. You could have Mox Diamond into wasteland. That would be annoying. Maybe I should have fetched a Plains. You think they might have Cub? Yeah, maybe. I cut all my Graveyard Hate. I probably, if I had Vacuum in the sideboard, I probably would bring it in here. Maybe not. Like, it doesn't do a great job at shrinking Reclaimers and stuff, to be honest. So, yeah. If you're gonna Sword and then what? Swing for 1, Zenith for 0. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna Guide Pride. We're just gonna do our thing. I could Raptor, but I'd probably rather Raptor when I have Guide in play. I'm gonna get Plateau here so that I can't get wasted off red. And get one of my evil mismatched plateaus. Just to tilt the observers. These kittens are not looking great right now, but as soon as I draw an Ajani, they're going to look fantastic. When I go Raptor into flip Ajani, Raptor into Ajani, play kitten, flip it next turn, you're going to believe. You're going to be kitten believers. You're going to be masked Meower believers. That's pretty scary. Crop rotation. You can crop rotation, make a guy. So I'm probably going to have to hold up Wasteland. Reclaimer. You can still crop rotation, make a guy. So we can't live the dream here because I think we have to hold up Wasteland, but that's fine. Does Depths play crop rotation? Ooh, that is definitely worth casting here, I think. And then I think I'm attacking with everything to try and get Monarchy. Because it makes it awkward for them because then they have to try and take it back. You know, I was going above 20, so it may not have been necessary to hold the Wasteland. It may have been better to play a kitten. But this is fine too. Giving them a 20/20 doesn't seem great. I have no way to kill it. You can... Without additional assistance, you cannot make this a 3/4. So I think it's fine to attack with Guide here. I'm wondering... This might not be a good idea. This might not be a good idea in terms of I'm throwing good money after bad. Why not just attack with one flyer? Because of Talon Gates? But maybe I'm fine with that. Maybe I'm fine with trading, like, Monarchy for Talon Gates. In which case, I should attack with something that I don't want at the end of turn. Yeah, that's how I should do it. I was kind of tunnel visioning on Monarchy a bit too much, but I think it's fine to trade the 4th Earlingus cast, especially since it was basically free. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's fine to trade that cast for a Talon Gates activation, but we traded it for swords instead. Like, they had to swords a token there, so... Okay, I can Wasteland now if I want to. I think I probably will. Yeah. Because if I wait, all I'm doing is letting them Wasteland me. Do I hit the stage or the depths? You hit the stage, right? Surely you just hit the stage. Yeah, you hit the stage, because that's actually better against Echoing Deeps as well. If you attack all, they had very good blocks. I'm not sure if they had good blocks. They couldn't... They couldn't get 3 lands to the graveyard. So they only had a 1-2. Yeah, I don't know. Now what? Make a bunch of energy, I guess. Just play out my kittens. Get them to read my kittens. These kittens are probably getting cycled, but not necessarily yet. Here, how many permanents do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I should play the... I should do this. And then play a land. Oh, yeah. And then I get City's Blessing. So, do you have another stage? Huh. Okay. Well, we're going to go to 6. Alright, I wasn't expecting another stage. That's fine. I guess we're going to go to 8. Honestly, we may race Marit. We can go pretty nuts with token generation next turn. So. And we have a flyer now. And they have 1 land. And they got a bunch of 3/3s. It's good. But yeah, we have like stuff to do here. We definitely have stuff to do. So play Sand Scout. Get one of these. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to keep back my flyer. I'm going to swing like this. Maybe I keep back 1 kitten. No, I shouldn't attack with these. There's no point. I swing like this. Make this a flyer. Just to gain more life, basically. Maybe I wanted to make something else a flyer, so I had an additional chumper. I don't know. I'm going to sacrifice this to get a card and a token. Synergy. and draw Caracas? No. That is another card and a token, though. Next turn. So now I make a bunch of guys. Gain 3 more life. Go up to 16. I think I lose now, right? Because they just, if they play a land, they can just phase out my... Yeah, they just phase out the cat. Was there a way of preventing this? I don't think so. I guess I'll try and draw swords. Huh. If I'd drawn that last turn, I would have gained life above 20. So maybe that was a reason. Maybe that was a reason to cycle. Maybe they misclick. White, okay. Okay. Alright, they had a extra crop rotation. I think I'm still happy with this sideboard. We just never drew any removal, so that's fine. This has a Caracas. Seems good. I don't want to lose this matchup because it seems like a very good matchup to me, but Dark Depths is Dark Depths. It can happen. Like, Voice may be better than it looks because of crop rotation, but I don't think so. It's like one card in their deck. Okay, so this is fine. I could Raptor here, but a lot of my hits off Raptor are quite reactive. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to play a Scout, and then next turn I can play second Scout and Fetch, make 2 guys. Or not. Crop Rot now. Classic, Surveil, then Shuffle. I've done that one before as well. It's never the order you want it to be in. It's going to go straight for it. Do I just waste that? Probably, right? Oh, they even gave me another land for Sand Scout. Quids in. Look at this value. God, why doesn't everybody play Sand Scout? I don't understand. I'm just going to get rid of this now. If that's what they got off Crop Rot, it seems sensible to waste it. Oh, so much value. Zenith for 1. Reclaimer. Alright. So now it's time to... I'm leaving up Quarry because of Ajani. Come on. What are you going to do? Swords in response? Come on, man. A Braid? Yeah, that's a good hit. It's exactly what I mean about like wanting to play this when they have something to remove, right? I think that's a key leak that can happen if you're not careful. I'll play the Strand. I won't fetch yet because I might want to Surveil. You see, you just have all these 2-for-1s. You just end up with a bunch of stuff in play. Yeah, that's fine. Do I want swords or do I want to surveil? I think I want to surveil. Because I have another land drop. Yeah, put that in the graveyard. Ooh, good prison. How likely am I to win in the next 2 turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit for 6. I have a Caracas. I think I'm going to swords. I don't think I'm winning fast enough to prison. I think prison could go wrong, especially if they have removal. So I'm just going to swords. I probably would do it the other way around if I didn't have Caracas, because I'd be more worried about Lage. And then the other question is, do I play this plateau? And I think I actually will. My reasoning there is if I draw another land next turn, I get to play Gigantha and have Caracas up, which, if they have a removal heavy draw, may be relevant. Okay, they're done. We beat Green White Depths. Getting some good matches out of this, though. Getting to show off some winning and losing board states. I do think it's time for Sekenzen to go. I think I'm finally ready to let go. I would almost want a third Caracas, but it's so bad to draw the Caracases in multiples. I think it's fine to just play a fetch. I'm wondering whether I want maybe 1 Prismatic Vista. That's probably a little bit too cute. I don't know. Yeah, what a Lurrus deck. Can you imagine? I actually played some Lurrus Energy on Arena in Historic. It's kind of funny. Just like casting a bunch of Ocelot Prides and strip mining people. I didn't play it for very long. But you can play Lurrus Energy in Historic on Arena. Just, it offends my sense of symmetry if I just put in another random white fetch as the 9th fetch. So I'm going to try Vista. Why not? Might be terrible. You do sometimes need Plateau. But sometimes you need Basic Mountain. Sure, why not? It's bad? What's good in Historic? Eldrazi? I thought Eldrazi was the best deck in Historic. Is Energy not good against Eldrazi? I've probably learned my lesson about keeping hands without white mana, right? This thing is taunting me. It's really like looking really awful in this league. It's won me games in other leagues, but it's really hurting me. The Mountain and the Sekenzen together, they just keep coming up. This is a good hand. It's fine. Do I want basic or do I want 2 red sources? I think I want basic. Just have no red cards. Some combo. Probably take Pride here. Or Rajani. Depends on your hand, I guess. Without a 1-drop, I'll probably lead on Caracas to bounce their Tamiyo. Yeah. Because I'm not worried about getting wastelanded here particularly. With a 1-drop, I'll play Guide. I'll play Plains, I mean. Hold the Caracas. Best planes. Storm Plains is best planes. Shahar qualified with Jund mid-range. He met 0 Eldrazi. Wait, you can qualify for stuff with in Historic? Like, people play that format seriously? The format with 4 strip mines in it? That's insane. That's unhinged. You're playing that even though you know I have a Caracas? I guess it slows me down. Sure. Do I bounce now? When do I bounce? I think I bounce. If they want to spend a turn playing and flipping Tamiyo, I think that's totally fine. My hand is quite good against flip Tamiyo because I just get to voice it. Like, a lot of people really go hard for this. They're like, oh my god, I'm going to flip Tamiyo and then the energy deck can't beat me. And it's like, I have a lot of ways of killing a Tamiyo. If you have other stuff... Yeah, they didn't even have a land drop there. But... Like, you can't just... This isn't just going to win the game by itself. That's not how any of this works. Sorry. I have some choices to make now, though. I can slow roll by playing voice first. Or I can get 3 energy this turn to hit this down to 2 by playing Ajani Kitten. But that plays into Force of Will pretty hard. So... I think I'm happy to start with voice, and then I can set up to next turn attack with voice, flip Ajani with Kitten, and just destroy them. Yeah. So now I don't have to play around days because I have voice in play, so I can play the Kitten. I don't quite have 3 energy, so I don't have attacks, but that's fine. Their best play here, honestly, is probably minus Tamiyo on Thoughtseize and take my Ajani, which is obviously still great for me. If they don't do that, the Ajani is just going to absolutely ruin them, unless they remove voice. If they have a push or something, then they're okay, but if they don't, they're just in a really, really bad spot, because this Ajani is going to absolutely demolish them. This is why Kitten's so good, right? So much redundancy for the Ajani flip. Orcish Bowmasters eat your heart out. You don't need it. Cabal Therapy? Get out of here. I do love Cabal Therapy, obviously. It's a great card. Yeah, see, the plus is not going to do it, buddy. The plus is... Okay, you have a Thoughtseize for the Ajani, so that's fine. I don't think I'm... Wait, what? Oh, they Thoughtseize their Archon. Oh, lol. Yeah, the Archon is not good enough here. Wait, is it Timeless I was thinking of? Not Historic? I think I kept calling it Historic. It's Timeless. Timeless is the format with 4 strip mine in it. Yeah, Historic's different. I don't know. I don't know fake formats. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know anything about fake formats, and I don't know why people are allowed to... Oh no, I messed up! Oh, I wasn't paying attention, I messed up. I can't flip my Ajani now. Because I don't have a card in hand, because I played out the voice. Ugh. I need a card in hand to flip the Ajani. I might lose to the Archon now. I just wasn't paying attention. Sorry, chat. We could ignore the Tamiyo. Pressure their life total. I think I like that more. I can flip if they play Archon. Yeah, but I wanted to flip this turn and zap down the Tamiyo. Yeah, sorry. I did not do that right. I'm supposed to flip the Ajani and it's much more powerful. As it is, I'm just attacking them for 4. I am ignoring the Tamiyo because if they have a reanimate, I want it to basically put them very low. Like, I think I'm winning next turn, and if I'm not, I probably have the opportunity to knock the Tamiyo down before it ults. But, yeah. This is probably fine. Kitten... I'll keep the Kitten because it's a red permanent before combat, which might be relevant. This is fine. Yeah, I didn't get to show the power of the Kitten. Minus on Brain, on Ponder? Okay, are you just dead? You didn't even plus. You didn't even plus! So I attack you. You block a 3-power creature. You take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then Ajani kills you. Deal. That, not plussing there is wild. Yeah, you can't kill all my red permanents, so this order doesn't matter. What do I want you to block? I guess one of these is fine. But yeah, this is why you don't need Graveyard Hate. It's just because you are faster. And they are slower because they don't have Entomb. The problem with Entomb was that they could cast it on turn 1. That was the problem with Entomb. So they were too fast. This deck is not fast enough to be a big problem for red-white. The, like, Dark Ritual thingamajiggy deck with, like, Colossal Grave Reaver, that deck is fast enough, but it's not that popular. Like, other people will keep that deck in check. I'm happy to have a bad matchup against that deck. Okay. So we are against Blue-Black Reanimator. The year is 20XX. Pyro is definitely good. I like all of the removal. Sand Scout is pretty medium. I don't know Timeless. Like, I just found out that you could play Lurrus Energy in Timeless, so I played a few games. I didn't look at any other decks. I don't know anything about Timeless. So I don't know what that deck looks like. We can have a look in a minute. I don't like Kitten very much. It's not very good against Bowmaster or Tamiyo. I'm back and forth on Bombardment as well. I guess if I'm bringing in Pyroblast, I pretty much always have to side out Bombardment just for mapping. Then it's a question of whether I want 4th and whether I want Price. Price is a little weird in this matchup because they can just fetch basics, but it's damage to the face, so I think I like it. You can just get them with it, especially if they're not playing around it, and why would they? And then it's a question of whether I'm taking out Scouts or Kittens. Because it's like, how grindy do I need to be? Against Barragoyf, Sand Scout's quite good because he gets Quarry. Kitten is worse. Yeah. One thing that you can do if you take out Sand Scout, by the way, is you can shave a Quarry and go down to 23 lands. That's totally fine. So, and if I did that, I would shave a Quarry and keep in Bombardment. But at that point, it's like, you're cutting some of the stuff that works with Bombardment. I think I don't mind Sand Scout too much, because as I say, the matchup is not always just about speed. Sometimes they try and kill you with, like, Barragoyf, Tamiyo stuff, and Sand Scout's quite good in those games. 4th Aelingus, I think, is not that good against Bowmaster decks in general, so it's not that good against Daze in general, so keep that on the board. I think I'm happy with this. Abrade is not good against the black decks because they have too much toughness. They kept 7. It says 5 lands in it. I think we can do better. I might keep this on the play, just because mulliganing is worse on the play. On the draw, I think we can do better. Ugh. I was going to mull this. It's actually not terrible. It looks a little terrible. It's not terrible. With 2 Pyroblasts. How do they discard cards? They can Thoughtseize themselves? I'm just thinking we can Pyroblast the Tainted Indulgence. We can Pyroblast the Tameo. I think this is better than 5, to be honest. I think Ajani. I can bottom the second Ajani. It's obviously a little weird looking. This basic mountain is really ruining my day today, but if they go to okay, if they go turn 1 Careful Study, I can't blast it. That's a problem. Most of these lists are not on Careful Study, which I think is correct, because I do not think Careful Study is a very good card. But we are going to lose to it here. If they reanimate here, that's basically it. Yeah, if you look at the lists that have been like doing relatively well, trophies and challenges and stuff, they're not usually on Careful Study. I guess if I top deck exactly a white source, I can swords and I have blast for the force. Just wondering what I discard here. It's probably second blast. No, they have Tainted Indulgence, Mr. Pippy Butthole. They have Tainted Indulgence. Okay, that hand didn't work out. That's fine. I still think probably better than going to 5. On the play, Sand Scout is worse. Maybe on the play, I'm supposed to go Kittens back in for life total pressure. Cut Sand Scouts. I don't know. They've Tainted Indulgence and they have... I saw a list that was playing Katara as well. This is fine. Sand. Price progress is not great, but it's fine. They don't usually have that many wastelands, so I'm happy to lead on Caracas. Okay. Force on Pride is pretty good news for us. If they're Careful Study here, we might be dead again, but that's fine. Are you going Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize my Ajani. And you know about my price, which makes it pretty bad. Oh no, Thoughtseize yourself? Why is it always Archon? Alright, we might lose here. We might lose here. They've had a very fast Archon in pretty much all 3 games. I guess not in the first game. So they mulled to the right kind of hands, I guess. They know what's up. I'll play the Ajani. I don't have any red permanents, so it's not even that good to flip. If they play like non-basic reanimate, yeah, no, we're just dead basically. Get rid of this wasteland. We could draw swords maybe. They don't have another land. They have a wasteland. That's fine. Okay. Well, this is kind of disproving my thesis that Graveyard Hate might not be necessary. They did have turn 1, turn 0 Force, turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Reanimate. It's pretty fast. It's faster than most of the draws I've been facing against this deck, but maybe I need to reconsider. I'll play out one more turn. Just because the swords might still be good enough here. And I can surveil for it. But it looks like we have lost this round, unfortunately. The problem is either you play none at all, or you play like 4 or 5, and it just tanks your sideboard. Like, you just lose so many great sideboard cards, which are very impactful in other matchups. That's the problem. Attacking Ajani. Sacrifice Ajani. I don't think this price is doing anything. But maybe like Price can go and a Pyroblast can go. Pyroblast is so good though. Pyroblast is already good in this matchup, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe we go back to Mardu and play Nile Spellbombs. That is a swords. That is technically a swords. What is the best time to swords my opponent? We're in trouble. Yeah, we're about to lose our first round of the league. It's fine. Still get a full one. We'll do it in their upkeep. Okay. We get to keep playing. They are well ahead, obviously. This quarry can bring back an Ocelot Pride. Or it would have been able to if they hadn't reanimated my Ocelot Pride. It's pretty heads up, actually. Oh, they gain life this turn. That's actually really funny. Because of my swords. That's great. I don't think there's any real reason to fetch. It thins, but I do have Sand Scout in my deck, so. Oh, that's really good here, actually. That's really good. Because I can get my Ocelot Pride back. They could consign the trigger, if they have that. Okay, I mean, this game is still going. This game is still going. Gigantha in hand, say go. Next turn, we get an Ocelot Pride. Maybe we play Gigantha. They're stuck on 2 lands. I don't know. There's stuff happening here. There is stuff happening. They have 5 cards in hand. They just got to ponder. The really funny thing is when they reanimate your Ajani and then they click yes to the trigger and then you get an Ajani. I've had that happen so many times. Like, an unreal number of times. I'm definitely glad I kept playing this game. Like, on the off chance that I would have a swords on top. I imagine they have more reanimates. Yes. So now I need a Caracas. Give me a Caracas. Give me my second Caracas. My kingdom for a Caracas. Okay, I didn't get a Caracas. Do you get a land, though? So I want this. Yeah. Flip my stolen Tamiyo. Is reanimated better now? No, it's much worse. It's so much worse. It's like fine. I think you can play it still, but it's so much worse, which is good. Do I swing with my cat? How likely do we think it is that our opponent does not know how this works? I think I will, because in the end, I'm probably trading these two anyway. And the upside is so high if they don't know how this works. It's just unreal high. So we're all praying for a yes here, boys. Would you like to flip Ajani? Yes, 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 yes. They did not do it. Okay, they know how it works. As I say, I think those two were trading anyway. I guess the only thing is City's Blessing. I'm now less likely to get City's Blessing. Yeah, I thought they might do that. But that puts them back from a 3rd land, and they might have a... Okay, that's pretty bad for me. They might have a... Oculus? If they're on Oculus. They might not be on Oculus. Ooh. Okay, so I have a choice here. I can either get back Ocelot Pride, or I can Raptor. Raptor's got to be better. Raptor's so good. Okay. That's not a great hit, but it's reasonable. I did get punished a bit for attacking. I think maybe it was a little greedy. Like, not attacking there, I get to keep the 2-1, and then I can, like, trade the 2-1. I am at 9, so... There's, like, a couple of schools of thought there about sacrificing the quarry. If I sacrifice quarry, I have 4 mana next turn, I can play 2/2 drops. Whereas, if I don't, then my whole turn is going to be getting the pride back. But this way, I do get the extra token from Sand Scout. There are a couple of things I could hit there would be really good, like a Johnny. I could just flip it. Okay, so you're going to get a Tamiyo. Alright, alright. Not looking great again. But we are playing a game. We are playing a game of Magic. Yes. That's a very good draw. That is a very good draw. It does depend a little bit on whether they have removal. If you had removal, would you push Raptor and attack with Cat there? How many pushes have you used? Only one? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one, chat. You can minus the Tamiyo to get Reanimate, Brainstorm, Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is a problem. I think I'm just going for it. I think I'm too far behind not to go for it. It looks like they have Force. Okay. Pitching a Traxa. Okay. I think I just have to say go. They can minus Tamiyo. Get something. We need some more bag of top decks. We need, like, Raptor into Ajani. I would still take a Karakas. To get my Ajani back. That's not really good enough.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm just streaming.
Yes, hello, internet.
Yeah.
Can you give the dog her egg when you
Yeah,
get a chance?
I will do in a minute. It's not really good enough for us. I think we're getting back the pride. And then next turn the bombardment is better because I have like a Sand Warrior. I think really what this prompts is just minus Tamiyo on push, kill my pride, and then we go from there. But they have a lot of cards in hand as well. They could do some pretty scary stuff here. They still have a very high life total, so they can discard something and reanimate it. They've used 3 reanimates. This could put something scary in the graveyard. No, okay. So what do you do here if you're them? You probably just minus. Oh, plus. Okay. Animate dead on Gigantha. Oh my god. My kingdom for a Karakas. Karakas would be so good here. Okay, that's a good draw. If they don't have Force here... maybe I was supposed to play Bombardment first because of Daze. No, I don't think we can beat Daze even. I don't think we can beat Daze or Force. To be honest. Why do you have so many forces? Alright, well, bombardment is still good. Bombardment should stop us from losing outright. How does this work? So, I attack with Pride. You block with Gigantha. Pride is 3 power. First strike puts Gigantha to 2. You can kill it. Your other blocks are fine. Johnny blocks Raptor very well, but then I can again do first strike, and yeah, I think I'm just swinging out. What if they don't block? 3, 4, 5, 6. I go to 3. I think that's fine. I think we swing out at the Tamiyo here. I guess the Sand Warrior doesn't do anything. Should I use him to kill the cat? No. Well, maybe. God, this is hard. Kill the cat. You block here, you block here. First strike damage. It's so bad. It's all very bad here for us. Like, I don't think I can keep this Pride alive, even. Well, hang on. If I keep the Pride alive, I get 4, 5. Why don't I have City's Blessing? So annoying I don't have City's Blessing here. If I keep the Pride alive, I get a cat. That's relevant. Okay. Okay, in that case... Okay, so let's just do it like this. I'm not gonna hit this. I think it's here and here is the blocks, yeah. And then we do first strike. Bombardment this. Bombardment this. I think it has to be like this. Bombardment here, and then end step, make a cat. Bombardment here. And then you can't ult. But you can just get Fatal Push, and then we're back to square one. Yeah. Even worse. Even worse than that. They drew it, so now they can plus. Say yes? Say yes to the dress? Alright, Caracas? No. Alright, that ended up being a closer game than I thought it would be, but they got there in the end. They drew pretty well towards the end there. They drew like multiple forces and stuff. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm just gonna go and give my dog an egg. Alright, I'm back. Let's play our 4th round. These have been some good matches. These have been some good matches. Okay, we are against Yi Billy. Looks like a reasonable hand. Basic Mountain once again showing up to crash the party. There may be an argument that you don't even need Basic Mountain in this deck. Because often basics are for, like, Blood Moon, right? You don't need Basic Mountain for Blood Moon. I think I like it in the tempo matchups where if they're on a Wasteland plan or against lands, if they're on a Wasteland plan. But it can be pretty annoying. Okay. Turn 1 Delver can be scary. Used to be a lot scarier 10 years ago. Nowadays they never flip, but that's a great draw. Feeling pretty good about this game just from my opening hand and the matchup. But we shall see. Ba, 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 ba. I'm trying to think if I made any important mistakes in those matches against Reanimator. I don't think so. The keeping game 2... I guess the keeping game 2 is an issue. But I think I would defend it. That was the double Pyroblast Basic Mountain keep. And we didn't draw white mana. I was at 6. I was going to 5 on the draw. I think I would defend it. Okay, so you have basic island in hand. You probably drew a land that turn as well. Am I going to Raptor here? Yes. I think getting them to double days is actually pretty good. Just puts them back a long way in the game. Force is fine. So what I can do next turn is play a Gianni and then play Kitten. And then probably just leave everything in play. And it means if they try and remove a Gianni, I could flip it if I wanted to. That kind of thing. Okay, they have a Ponder. So we're on the clock now. It's fine. Land Ponder? Or land Channeler Ponder? Sure. No Delirium yet, but as soon as a creature dies, they'll have Delirium. So that's worth considering. Probably not wasting here. Probably just fetching down to 14, getting a basic. That's why I like having 3 basics. Just means they can't wasteland me. off like double 2-drop next turn or something. If I cycle into 2-drop with Kitten. We might just get punked out by like Bolt here or something, but like, they might just kill us. They didn't have days last turn. Don't have it this turn. Attack with Kitten and say go. So hopefully we draw either a red permanent or another way to flip a Johnny, and then we have a thing going. Delver, okay. Land. You have Murktide? Murktide would be pretty scary. No? Alright, I'll go to 11 and hopefully draw something good. No lands, please. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to Surveil. And if there's a red permanent on top, we're going to grab it with Kitten. I don't think we can play around Bolt here. It's very likely they have a Bolt or a Heat, but I don't think we can play around it. Raptor on top. Opponent, can we play Magic, please? Billy, you in there? Guide on top. So, I'm not going to cycle the Kitten. The question is whether I want to draw that next turn. And I think the answer is probably no. Because I think I want to play Gigantha next turn. It's pretty good, though. Just for gaining life? No. So now we put Gigantha in hand. I'm actually not going to attack because I don't think I would... Well... Yeah, I don't think I would trade Kitten with Delver here. Because if Delver flips, I think we'd lose anyway. Would they trade Kitten with Delver? They might if they're heads up, because they know what my plan is. My plan is face up, because my plan is to play Gigantha, use Kitten, flip a Johnny. So I'm gonna wait. Like the 1 damage I don't think makes a difference here. But yeah, if they flip Delver, we're basically dead. They did not flip Delver. Going to 7, which is awfully close to double Bolt lethal. You have a Wasteland, which you're going to use. Yes, it sets me back. Second to Johnny. That works, technically. That technically works. Is there any reason to waste? First. The only reason is like, well, you just borrow in response. I guess if you top deck Cutter. Yeah, I think there's no reason to waste until the end of their turn, basically. There's no double days. Let's just do this. I have to keep the Kitten because it's my red permanent. Because we basically need... this is awkward, actually, because if I kill the Delver, they get Delirium, and then they kill the Ajani. So I could plus. We could plus and then minus. And then probably still die. Or we could plus... No, because... Yeah. Oh, God. It's really awkward. If I kill Channeler, they kill the Ajani. If I plus, they hit the Ajani. I think I like plus here. I think plus plays to my outs better. Because it just gives us a giant board as well. Maybe I should have attacked. I don't know. Another Delver? Yikes. Okay. Yeah, the problem is as soon as the Delver dies, this Chandler... They actually should have traded probably, right? Well, no, because then I get to Ajani twice. You're going to attack me? I don't know about that one, buddy. Because then I'm going to minus my Ajani. That's going to be a bad time for you. It's just like a 3-for-1. Yeah, I think you have to attack Ajani. This is why I did it, is because I get free life, basically, from doing this. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, that's a good draw. So now... I can zero... I think I'm killing Channeler and then prisoning Delver. Yeah. If they flip Bolt, we still lose, but that's fine. Come on, opponent. I want to play. I've got one more match to get through after this, then I need to go to FNM. Do. Go to FNM, play the second paper. I got to get my points for the King in the North playoff race. Legacy of the North playoff. I'm not in the top 32 at the moment because I started the season late, but I think with a couple of like FNM wins, I could probably sneak into top 32. And I got to go to the shop to pick up my Masked Meowers in paper. I bought 4 Masked Meowers, full price of progress. Because I thought price of progress is a good card to own. I'm actually not sure if it will be in this sideboard long term, but I've been liking it so far. That probably is where I would look to start adding Graveyard Hate, is by cutting prices. Not that they come into the same matchups, but they're just like a nice to have rather than a necessary thing, I think. Oh, opponent, please. Please let me play Magic. Okay, thank you. I actually should have done this after combat, because they might have done something like try and trade. Probably not, though. Probably insane to trade there. I think, yeah, we're winning as long as these don't flip. So, just attack. No bolts, please. They get 2 bites of the apple here as well. Because they get to... They reveal days. Huh. Why wouldn't you... This is wrong. You're supposed to fetch... It's days. You're supposed to fetch after the Delver trigger. They just... If they don't flip their Delver now, they massively punted. Well, they massively punted anyway. Even if they do flip their Delver. Oh, they reveal Bolt. Never lucky. Okay, I can draw swords. It's possible I should have done that anyway, actually. To try and draw, like, second prison. Or something. Swords? No. Would that have helped me? No. Okay. Okay, that was a close game. We could have been more aggressive, and then we might have won the race quicker. But we kind of flooded, that's fine. Okay, I like Abrade in this matchup. I like Pyro in this matchup. I don't like Bombardment that much, but 1 is fine. And I like Voice. I think I like Scout too. I think I don't like Kitten. Yeah. I think you need every card, so you can't take you can't 2-for-1 yourself with Kitten. And like flipping a Ajani is fine, but not backbreaking. This looks fine to me. Yeah, it's got lots of removal, seems fine. Can even remove Cutter for a couple of turns if I need to. Yeah, that kind of game is unusual. Like, I just didn't have a lot going on, so I wasn't able to race the Delvers. Usually the problem is either Murktide or Cutter, and that's the only thing that's a problem. Will I Swords Delver here? I think I probably will, because I have a lot of other removal. And because it might draw out a Daze, which then isn't going on my Ajani. 3 Ajanis is a lot of Ajanis, but that's probably good. More Ajanis is better, right? If 1 Ajani is good, 2 Ajanis is better, 3 Ajanis is best. Cutter? Yeah. Cutter no plays. Cutter no plays. Hello, XJ. Will I prison your Cutter? Do I even care? I think, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let them daze the prison if they want to. So I'm going to attack like this. Play Ajani. Flip Ajani, no red permanent, boohoo. Make... I'll do this first. Static Prison. Daze? You didn't daze anything else I played. Okay, daze. That's fine. So, you're gonna Cutter. The plus is a lot better next turn. Can they kill it? They can. They can just bolt it. The plus is still good next turn if I plus this turn. So I'm gonna plus. Because that way my cat trades with a prowess monk. And you can't just bolt my Ajani. This seems better. I think opponent has some work to do here. But they are capable of doing that work. Because they have a Cutter in play. They have 2 lands. They have a handful of cards. So ball is in their court. We'll see how scary this gets over the next couple of turns. If they draw a Hydro, we are probably in a bad spot. Although we still have Ajani Swords. So it's just hard for them to really meaningfully impact this Ajani without Hydro, I think, now that it's at 5 loyalty. You are going to attack my Ajani. You have already played your land. I think I am okay with this. I think I am happy to just keep plussing Ajani and make my guys even bigger rather than trade. You would have to have, like... Well, even Gut Shot is not that good here. What do you have? Okay. Scout. Scout is not a cat. We'll save the Scout. I actually should have tapped my plateau here. Doesn't really matter. But... We're just going to plus, and I'm probably just going to hit them for 8. I mean, they're at 15. If I was being super conservative, I could just hit them with 1 cat here. I don't really see any need to be conservative when you don't have any blockers. Like, if you're gonna try and pressure my Ajani, I'm just gonna kill you on the backswing. Just hit you for 8. God, this Ajani card. I mean, the data says it's better than Black Lotus, and quite frankly, I'm inclined to agree. The data doesn't lie. Not really interested in playing the swords into a daze this turn. Especially since it gains them life and they're pretty low on life. I think my deck list is slightly wrong now, isn't it? Because I think it still has the Ghost Vacuum in the sideboard, which I cut. Yeah, I can edit that. Because Gravehead Hate sucks, we hate Gravehead Hate, we don't care. We lost to Reanimator. But we would have lost to everything else if we were playing a bunch of rubbish Gravehead Hate in the sideboard. So. I want to play good cards in the sideboard, I don't want to play Gravehead Hate. Go up to 3 Pyroblasts in the sideboard, there we go. Yeah, you can bauble, that's fine. I mean, the only thing they could have done here, I guess, was like second cutter. Second cutter could have been very good. Sometimes you do lose second cutter. Second cutter often very good. But looks like they didn't have it. Again, I feel like they kind of need Hydro, and even then, if you Hydro here, what are you doing? Sitting back on blocks? I don't know about that. Don't know about that, chat. Like, let's say you swing out and then you play a Murktide. You're at 6, you have a Murktide, you can block 4 damage and you'll take 9. It's not a great look. Bolt? Oh sure, you have Delirium. Okay. That's basically Hydro. That's fine. That means they're not just mega dead. Bolt this Ajani. Why wouldn't you do this? Oh, I see. Sorcery speed. was going to say, why wouldn't you just do this on my turn to make another guy? Because you can't attack. You've got 9 power in play. You can't attack. It's kind of sad for you, right? Draw a card, sure. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfecto. Okay, so now I swords this. You go to 7, and then you take 7. Yeah. Just like we drew it up. All right. Yep. Still happy with this. I think 1 bombardment is fine for this matchup. Sometimes they have a draw where they have like a Delver and a Darcy in play, and you play bombardment, it just owns them. But sometimes they have 3 power, 3 toughness, and it doesn't. And then it's just fine. This hand is interesting. I think it's a keep. Has removal. Has Raptor, which is a good card. Doesn't have a basic planes, or a way to get a basic planes, which is concerning, but... I don't think I'm getting a better 6, usually. Like, I think it's a bit irresponsible to mulligan this hand, even though it's not ideal. Oh my god, the opponent. We could have been done so long ago. Play this match at 2 times speed on YouTube. Okay. Yep. Keep. This is one of the only matchups where Caracas is actively bad. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's annoying because I was hoping that was going to be a Delver so I could blast it on turn 1. Now I have to play Caracas and swords it, and then I'm just going to get wastelanded. And then we'll lose. But I think I do have to do that. Unfortunately. When will I learn to mull hands with shaky mana against blue-red Delver? I don't know, but it's not today. I will not learn that lesson today. I would keep this hand again. Yeah, it doesn't really help. I'm still just going to do this. Yep. Flip a creature, Daze goes into the graveyard, wasteland me, hit me for 3. That's how they do it. They didn't flip a creature, okay. No wasteland 1 time? Okay. That's okay. That's okay. That is pretty scary, but... Hydro in graveyard, Delver in graveyard. Still no land in graveyard. But next turn, I imagine we'll get hit for 6. Oh, wow. We are turbo surveilling. Sorcery in graveyard. Okay. We drew 3 baubles and 2 Dragon's Rage Chandlers. Fine. Well, we might have trouble beating that. If this Raptor doesn't resolve, we're probably not going to win. Oh my god, these Pyroblasts are so bad here. Okay. Raptor, I choose you. Okay, we lose. Oh, that's so annoying. I thought for sure we would 4-1 this league. I thought for sure we would 4-1 this league. This is a good matchup. It's not unbeat. It's not like unlosable, but it's a good matchup. There's a voice. It's pretty bad. Yeah, these Pyros did not pull their weight here. Yeah. I guess this was a mull. I don't know. Is this really a mull on the draw? Because it doesn't have... How does swords? How does swords? Yeah, I mean... I don't know. I guess sometimes you just get unlucky. I mean... Usually how you lose here is they have a Murktide follow-up. I'm actually insulated against that. But I do really need a way to kill Channeler before they bolt me out. If they play... Okay, Murktide here is fine. That's kind of what we want them to play. Because that just gives our Pyroblast something to do. But we really need... I guess this is now a 1-1. Actually, you know what? This is now looking great. I take it all back. This actually has turned out very well for us. Because they couldn't keep Delirium. So what we can do now is we can play... Voice. We can blast Murktide. And then next turn... I could have played this. I want to play around Wasteland. We can play... Ooh, play around Wasteland. We can play a Ajani and then flip it with Quarry. We'll have red permanents from Voice and kill the Dragon's Rage Channeler. So, I guess we win? Somehow? Take it all back. Take it all back. Hand was perfect, deck's great. Pyroblast. Unbeatable. No, we were lucky their follow-up was a Murktide and not a Cutter. Basically. Not like Cutter 4th Bauble or something. We got lucky there. Ajani. It's just great. It's totally safe because of Voice. They're going to get another Channeler on my next turn, but I'm probably going to kill that one as well. If they remove Voice, that could be bad for us. If they're able to... they only have 2 cards in hand after this. That is probably fine. Unfortunately, you have to give them the Delver back, the Channeler back. Ooh, that's awkward actually. Because now to get red permanents, we have to suicide the Voice. I think we do have to do that. I can't see a way around it. Yeah, this could be tricky now. Because if they flip Delver, which they will because they brainstormed, they get to kill Ajani. So, hang on. Attack with everything. I think everything's great. Attack with everything. You block Voice. You take 4. You go to 11. I 0. I can put you to 7 or I can kill a Channeler. No, I can put you to 6 or I can kill a Channeler. You flip Delver. If it's Bolt, you kill me. I need to kill this. Otherwise, you kill Ajani. Next turn, you're at 11 still, and then you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go to 5. Yeah, tricky one. Or I could not play Sand Scout and hope top deck a land, but I don't think that makes sense. We definitely attack with both. Another thing they could do here is... Oh my god, they just didn't block? So I just get to keep attacking with voice? Okay. That is wild. That's insane. One, two, three, four, five, six. Put you to 4. No. No. Just kill the channeler. I mean, they know what's on top. What do they have? Like, fire magic or something? Because they're just dead now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not quite. They kill a Ajani. They go to 1. What did they... They reveal fire magic. They actually have fire magic. I called it. Chat, I called it. I called the fire magic. Me? Surely not me. Surely not me. You just die if you hit me. What do you have? Price of progress? Oh my god, if we get price of progress, I'm gonna be so mad. Ah, okay, you have Hydro. You have Hydro. You have Hydro and fire magic. Okay. This is an interesting game, chat. There's been some highs and lows in this game. You're gonna fire magic now to kill my cats. That makes sense. Cats are down. So, that is a good draw. I will play that now. I will hit a voice, and we are dead to bolt. They know their top card from Brainstorm, right? Could be a bolt. If they drew it up, could be a bolt. Yeah, alright, you'll go. If we hit a Johnny there, we would have won. If we hit a removal spell. It was a land, chat. It was a land. GG's. Close games. It was very close, chat. They are making us work for this one. They are making us work for it. Let's try and finish this league. It's taking a little bit longer than I would have liked. So you need to go... Probably need to go around 6. So... Hopefully we get a fast finish. These have been great matches, though. Couldn't have asked for a better stream. This is a good hand. This hand doesn't have a basic mountain in it. Usually lead on Guided Souls. Though not always. I think there are situations where you want to lead on Pride. Is this one of them? I don't think so. It's kind of matchup dependent as well. Thoughtseize? Oh no. Another Depths gamer, perhaps. It's interesting. Raptor. Getting wastelanded here could suck. I'm kind of tempted just to Raptor. Because then you hit... It's just very bad if I hit swords. It's very bad if I hit swords. I think I will voice. It just doesn't look like a matchup where having voice in play is that important. But it has 3 power. It does some stuff. Abzan. Noble Hierarch. Noble Hierarch. Okay. What is happening? We drew a Wasteland. think I will Raptor now. That is an excellent hit. Holy cow, is that a good hit? Man, this deck just kills me. Just kills me. I mean, if you're the opponent here, like, how do you feel right now? How do you maintain your composure? How do you maintain your composure in the face of Raptor into Bombardment with the Wisp in play? It's not possible. It's just not possible. We'll try the same boarding we did against Depths. See what happens. I think I will keep this because it has swords. It's not an ideal hand, but looks like a deck where swords will be primo. How many cards have an exclamation point in them? What? Oh, well, I'm just going to Swords that. I was thinking about wastelanding it, but Swords puts us so far ahead. Because I thought, oh, I may want to save Swords for like a creature or whatever, but like, what is happening over there? Honestly, what is happening? It looks like they're having some real mana trouble, so I'm going to try and make that as difficult as possible for them. Well, we asked for a quick match. We might be about to get it. Yep. Ew. Ooh. Dicey. They probably will waste whatever we play. But if they don't... Just thinking, like, if I play Sand Scout, they can just waste in response, so I don't get the guy. This way, at least I get 2 energy. And if I draw 1 drop or a land next turn, I can jump with Guide. Or they might just keep their Wasteland. I don't think so, though. I think they're firing this off any day of the week. Oh, you have another Wasteland? That's funny. That's funny. Well, how about Basic Mountain? How does that suit your Wasteland plan? Should I just 4th here? I kind of want a 4th. I think it's better to scout, though, because I think I want the energy. Like, I should just be clocking them as quickly as possible. It's very tempting to 4th, though. I could also Kitten flip, but it's only fine. On the cat, I think. Here. I don't see how this game can end in anything other than a victory for us. Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, looks like they're committing seppuku as we speak. All right, we got it. 4-1. Nice 10-minute match to finish. So, yeah, we did lose Reanimator. That is a natural predator for this deck. It's a deck that I'm making a conscious choice not to respect too much because I think it costs you too much overall in red-white specifically. In terms of sideboard slots. And I think that is probably a very good reason not to play red-white. It's probably a very good reason to play Mardu, because in Mardu you get to play good graveyard hate in the sideboard, i.e. Nihil Spellbomb. but I hate saying that because that means Sand Scout might have to go back into retirement, and I just couldn't do that to her again. So we'll see. We'll see how the metagame shakes out. If Blueback Reanimator is still somehow the best deck, which I don't think it will be, but please God no. If it's still somehow the best deck, then I will have to go back to playing Mardu. So perhaps a bittersweet note to end the stream on. Well, we got a pretty tidy 4-1 and some nice matches there. So I will hopefully stream next week, but I think I have a paper tournament on the Saturday, so maybe not. But as ever, you can find me on Blue Sky, and this whole league will go up on YouTube, which should be a good resource for energy gamers, I hope. And yeah, have a good weekend, everyone. See you next time.